and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. In this evening's live, we have to go over a few different factors, or actually a few different things. Some should give us more of a bullish perspective here, as a pro XRP attorney has said that the SEC will not appeal Judge Annalisa Perez's decision in regards to the programmatic sales side of it, or at least to that side, as there was speculation that they might appeal. So we'll see what kind of validity there is with that. And also went a little further and said that with that being thrown into things and with the case not looming over it, sometime towards the end of the year, that XRP will hit all-time highs now. Is that something that we should take seriously, or is this just something to kind of give us a little bit of bullish feeling about XRP? Now, we'll look over the pattern formation that's developed throughout the day. It's evolved from earlier, but it's very interesting to look at. We can look at a technical move. If it were to break up a little bit from here, it's not much, and we would have to get over this little formation resistance, but we'll go over that as the live gets going here, and we'll take a look at the prospects, whether it goes bullish from here or if we were to break down bearish. But as we can see right now, XRP's been flat on the day. It's been pretty range bound between right around 61.6 cents, and it went up to about 63.5 cents, maybe very early AM. But other than that, it's been pretty much around 62 cents for most of the day. So we've been pretty flat on the day. But there is some reason to be bullishly optimistic with XRP, especially what the pro XRP attorney said. So we'll definitely take a look into that. We'll do some nice reading with that, so we'll get on the same page with what the heck is actually going on there. And then we'll look at the prospects of XRP for the rest of the weekend and see if we can have a little bit of a bullish overtone here to end the weekend, as we still have not retested that drop point, not even from the rising channel that we broke outside of, which now, if we went back to that setup from February 27th, that's now ballooned all the way up to a move to 69 cents if that were to play true. But we have a myriad of areas where we have to get through resistance that we've created in more of a short-term proclamation, let's just say, with our short-term movements here the last several days. So there's a lot of different things we need to look at. We'll look at the XRP market cap for sure. We'll go through Bitcoin, because right now Bitcoin, a lot of people think it's just going to deep dive, but it's not necessarily showing that it's just going to fall off a cliff just yet. I think there's an ulterior motive here that might just be the bigger bull trap here. And I'm not saying it's just going to go to 89,000, but I certainly could see them pump it up like a 2,500 point swing and make it go, or, finish off and move to like 71,100. And then all of a sudden, if they wanted to pull it down, they could just drop it. But there is a scenario here that if the handle formation that went from 69,200 and some change down to 59,200 and some change, that 10,000 point handle, there is a chance that we could have an artificial move up, even if it's not the move of all moves to 150,000. There is a chance that that handle was big enough to allow a move to go to about 89,000. If this were to play up in just a more bullish fashion here leading into the halving of Bitcoin, and then you could obviously some kind of big pullback. But if that doesn't play out, then it's what we were seeing initially, which both scenarios are relevant. It's just what's more likely. We would have liked to have seen a bigger handle, in my opinion, than 10,000 down, but that was a scenario if we could get at least 10,000 down, or at least somewhere around 60,000, which it came through a little bit, but at least somewhere in that area, that we could have a run back up through, even if it was not the rally of all rallies. Just having a handle of that size could bring us up to 89,000. That's just the truth. But we're going to have to break out over an extension area here of 71,100 and start pushing up to have any kind of thought that we could even have anything like that happen. I feel like there's been a big push here to get the longs out within the leverage community. So something here doesn't seem right. As if we were going to go bearish here, it feels like it should have just dropped off. So something tells me even if we're going to be bearish, we're probably going to do a little roundup. And you're going to be surprised though how much it might only be with XRP. Even though, like the ones in Doge, again, Doge is up 8.7% today. There's others that are continuing the rally V-Chain's up 4.3%. DGB's up 3.79%. And yet XRP seems to be stuck in the sand. So something's building up here for XRP. And one of the most overlooked things with XRP is a lot of people will say that XRP never runs. It's always behind Bitcoin, even in a bull market. Well, there's two things that aren't true about that. One, XRP is known for running last. And in 2021, just to put it in perspective, XRP ran from 59.2 cents all the way up to the $1.98 high of that run, and it took it 9 days. So if you think about that, if it only took 9 days then, that literally means today's Saturday, March 9th, XRP could move up to retest those areas in 9 days from the drop point in 2017 or 2021. And then that could mean it could be another short move for a push to all-time highs. Things just have to line up with the pressure building up. And right now we've been in what one could call a descending formation, a descending triangle pattern, since we had all-time highs in January 2018. We've been in a 77-month consolidation. So it's going to be very interesting to see this pattern unfold. But hopefully, we do our due diligence here this evening. Everybody puts in their own perspective, and we have a nice, loving, positive-filled, but a very helpful audience here this evening. Remember, we don't play the victim here. We play the winner. We are loving, not hateful here, and we positivity over negativity. And also on this most holy of days, don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ here. So I'm going to do the intro and timestamp this. Please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this live, and we can continue to advance this community, as I think we have a beautiful community here that's very helpful, and there's a lot of knowledge to be learned. So please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will recommend the live, not just for new viewers, but old viewers as well that might be looking through their YouTube feed, but we're not popping up because we're not part of their algorithm. By you hitting that like button, it allows the recommendations to force us through the algorithm and through other feeds. So good evening, 6:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, March 9th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So let's see what's going on here. Wow, very nice showing this evening for a Saturday, 99 people as well. Especially with the lack of motivation for most for XRP right now, just because it hasn't moved. Let me just go through the comments real quick. Kat, welcome in. Hey all, this is the year, says Kat. We shall see, we shall see. Ridicule, welcome in. Rob Holkaluk, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the emoji, with the XRP meteor. Appreciate that. Nick Morales, welcome in. Will Rob, Line Phantom, welcome. Hola, amigo. Hola. Line Phantom, welcome in. Juan Brito Ortega, good evening, my friend, and thank you and George for being in Tom's Army for 1 month. You both have the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Oh, it's true, folks. That's my face superimposed on that emoji badge. So that's pretty cool. I love seeing that. Mark Caston, good evening. Moza here, welcome in. Says, good evening, everyone. Show appreciation. Hit that like button. Yes, indeed. Please hit that like button. John Hall, good evening, my friend. You are welcome. Angela, welcome in, love, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 badge. That's the moon badge. Chance Williams, welcome in, and he says, patience, indeed. UK Phil, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Hamza, welcome in. Hi, Tom, this Bam Bam Dragon. How are you, my man? I have been doing really good, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you, as always. One of the mods as well, long-time viewer. Thank you so much for tuning in, brother. I appreciate that. Randall, welcome in. I truly appreciate what you do, he says, Tom. I believe XRP will change my children's lives and my 10 grandchildren. Holding XRP going on 4 years. Patience. You've got a plan in place. But thank you also for the praise. Martin Van Houten, all-time high. It can't even break 62 cents. Jesser, I have a feeling Bitcoin will only hit 80,000 this run. The narrative for Bitcoin right now is we're going to 100 to 300,000. The whales absolutely know what they're doing, 100%. At this point, if we were to run up with this handle, even it doesn't even support a run up past at best 89,000. So we're gonna stick to that, unless something bigger develops here. But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy a nice little bear market rally here for some of the altcoins. As Bitcoin's in a bull market. XRP hasn't been since 2017. 2021, it didn't even stack up to a bull market. We never got back to all-time highs. Alan Chumacero, welcome in. Appreciate you tuning in, friend. Janthony, welcome in and good evening, brother. XRP Tribe, or bro, XRP Tribe. What up, Tom OG here? Welcome in, OG. Yes, indeed, you've been here for a long time. I recognize that name from far back. Rye, welcome in. Gianni, welcome. Cryptic Crypto, good evening. Christopher, welcome in, and thanks for reading Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Yes, my face is superimposed on there. Shaky leg, I finally made it live. It's good to see you in here. Now that we are caught up, I'm shutting the phone off, and now we're going to get into this. So the immediate thing that I've noticed here on today's formation is that we are stuck. It's a very short time frame. Very short. Actually, this one I'm not even using. This to me is irrelevant because this chart is good for this. So I actually switched over so it wouldn't be confusing. I did it on here. I know it doesn't look like anything right here, but look when you put this into a smaller time frame. So taking out, and I didn't know which way exactly to do this, so I added so basically what I did is I had this uptrending after. I didn't have this, so let's take this, but I wanted to have it here just in case we started to do an uptrend, and then when it hit here, here, and then maybe it stops here instead of coming all the way down. But what I did here was I had support coming through, the support areas here as well, but this is just a wick down. So you've got all the nice support, and then the downtrending resistance, and what it looks like is if this falls bearish, you just get a rejection up here again, even though you have a bull flag here. So what I'm thinking is this was probably a bear trap here when it fell through the actual rotation or the formation that it shows us now. And then a tactical move up, if you break out of this, would be 65.2 cents. That's your short target right now. If we break out of this, and like I said, I added that, but this is truly what it is. I added the other one just, just for whatever, just to see if it would create that uptrend, which it could right now. I don't know, because I'm waiting for that next hit. But it's basically irrelevant. It just means instead of coming to 616 area, the next hit would be like 618 at worst. But if this fills out, I took away this wick. See, I took away the wick. And acted like it just was a pull through, and then we used the other two. So basically I had, what I did for my 3 supports here coming through is I went 1, 2, 3, and then this still held support. It just had a quick wick liquidation candle, which is what we like to see. And that could, in fact, support that move farther up, because not just did we have the liquidation candle, we also came up again, and then we came way back down here again and formed this. So it looks like to me that we're building into something. It looks more bearish on the onset. And even if we do break up from here, which it looks like to exhaust that liquidation candle, but like I like to call them, we would have to try to exhaust this move, and that could make for a 4% push to 65.2 area. That would be the technical push up here if we were to break through it. So that's what I immediately am seeing today for the immediate pattern. I would love to hear what everybody thinks about that interpretation, because it's very important, actually. It's very important we get this particular part right for the short term. So I would love to hear what everybody has to say. Please make sure to hit that like button if you are watching, so YouTube will recommend this live, and we can advance how many people are watching, not just during the live, but who get to see it after. But I think this is pretty, I think this is what's going on. I really do. So now we have to watch to see exactly how this plays out. Does it play through it? Oh, is it not showing me the comments already this evening? Sometimes YouTube sucks. Look, it's not showing me the comments, everybody. What a shame. What a shame. But I think I figured this out. Let me try something. And if it goes goodbye, I do apologize. Okay, are we still here? Probably won't even be able to see comments though, but unfortunately, we don't have any comments. So I'll have to look at my phone this evening. But if everybody, if you know, a lot of people end up leaving, it is what it is. I can't exactly help what YouTube does. Sometimes they like to shadow ban my comments. So I'm assuming that was probably not good what just happened. But we'll see. We'll see. If you are watching, please just make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this. And that we can advance our audience even despite the circumstances we always seem to go through on here. But we do our best. We do our best. We try to stay positive. And I don't even know if everybody can see me still. I know I can see me when I look at my phone, but I know the comments aren't going to come through on the screen now, so that's unfortunate. So you'll just have to look in your chat box. So if you can see me, please just let me know. Somebody just comment, and it'd be great. So XRP and Hamza just got home. I made it. I'm so glad you're home safe. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Greatly, greatly appreciate that, my good friend. Oh, beautiful, Rob. You see me. Excellent. Excellent. Hamza says all good. Omar says we do. Everybody's saying yes, it's working, it's working. Yes, yes, yeah, good. Unfortunately, like I said, we can't see it going across the screen today, so I'm going to do my best to see the comments, but I'm obviously not going to see everything now. But I'm going to try to give you as much information as I can here. So this is what we're watching for in the short term with XRP. To me, I think it's telling us a lot because it formed a flag here. See, what ended up happening here, and a big key is if we're going to have this little move up, we usually have a liquidity strike, and we did. So we had the resistance, and then instead of just coming to support, we had a big liquidity pull, and now we're playing true. Maybe it's already told us the target because this is more like a bull flag now, see? And now, once it does roll out, we should see a topside move. Now, if it breaks this, well, we've got other problems if we don't hold this formation. And we won't be able to get to the further pattern either, which is unfortunate because then we would be in store for a bigger consolidation to the downside, which is possible. That is possible, a bigger move to the downside. And the only reason I say that it'd be unfortunate is because we are building something right now. And if we did make a little bit, and it's not a big move, that's not the right chart, just a little smaller move here, we might end up finding ourselves, did it delete my chart again? Because that's the rising channel. Oh, no, it's right here. Okay. I was going to say, did it delete my chart again? So, if we go to November, okay, so this is important. For anybody who's new, this is the November of 2021 formation. This is November of 2021. And if we were to break down, we could possibly come all the way back down here to the subtrending support at 53 cents. It's called it a few times, but we've consolidated twice now down there. It almost appears to me, not even just almost, it appears to me that this built a bull flag and then it even gave us another level here. So it seems like we want to try to start breaking out here. And the first level would be 65.20. And that's contingent on the fact that we break bullish out of this formation, in my opinion. It definitely is contingent upon breaking bullish out of this formation. Mr. Bosango says, one day soon my name will be in green. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I agree with that. And for the 110 people that are making it through this unfortunateness from YouTube and actually stuck around, I thank you all so much for that. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. So you guys can comment in the comments, and eventually I'll see whatever everybody says. But I'm basically flying blind tonight, so you're just going to get me talking. And then I'll look at my phone every now and then. But today YouTube decided to shadow ban us a little bit, so it won't show it across my screen, unfortunately. So the major thing this evening is to make sure we watch this formation. It looks like a reversal candle's in right now in the 4 hourly. So we're going to see as the daily candle closes here in about 6 minutes. And it looks like that's an inverted hammer candle. Like if we start to close, and we very well could start pushing up here in the last maybe not much more than we're at now. I was gonna say around 62.25, but we're almost to there now because when we started we were at like 6198, 62 cent area. So it would have been farther down here, but now it's up in here. So this is going to be a very interesting start to the next candle. This is going to be a very interesting start to the next daily. And honestly, I'm glad we're here together because this could be a volatile nice swing here. We could have a nice swing here if this plays out properly into the next candle because the weekly candle closes tomorrow. And right now we're on a thinly traded weekend here. As you can't trade the ETFs, the stock market's closed, yada, yada, yada. So this is going to be interesting the way this closed. I think a lot of people who aren't paying attention to the market on the weekends, they miss out on a lot of information, a lot of key information. Because of how thinly the market's been traded, we were able to see these formations put in right before our very eyes. And this looks like that was just like I said, a liquidity candle. It looks like it needs to make a move up. So if you're a levered short trader, and long trader for that matter, be very careful. But until this breaks down, that could have been a short trap here. This could have been a trap for the short traders. We see it oftentimes now. It seems we see it far too often. Far too often now, where they just have these liquidity tugs. But this is what I'm very, very, very eager about. Because it looked like it wanted to come through. Maybe this was a bear flag. But I'm seeing something a little different here. If this doesn't break down, I'm seeing something different here that looks a little more bullish. Like I think it came down and secretly or sneakily built that W and it kind of back tested. And now, if it does something like this, we could very well move 7-8% from the spot we're at right now before we hit that 65.2 resistance. I think a lot of people are expecting it to do this, which I think it could. But we got to make sure we exhaust this pattern first before we start saying, oh, it's time to go short if somebody's a leverage trader and they're going short. Because I think a lot of people are going to get not just hammered, but they're going to get caught off guard here. XRP feels like to me, if it was going to break down, it should have done it already. And the fact we grabbed that liquidity there, it scares me for anybody who just thinks it's going to do this. Even if it plays it true, fine, let it finish this pattern. But that still means there's a little upward volatility. And then we would hit this next time at like 627, 628. And then let it play properly if that's the case. Or if you're going to go short, make sure it bounces off the bottom of the structure. And then at least, you could retest. But if it comes down there, this isn't like a traditional double bottom. Because one could say, well, if it comes down there, wouldn't you say it had to come all the way down here? So this is not exactly what it would seem to be. You really want to start going in steps here and then start breaking, either up or down from here and then start to rotate down. Because it feels like now that we've swung around, it would behoove us not to come up, and I love that word, but it would behoove us not to come up to that 652 level. So that's really what I'm seeing here with XRP. So in the next 25, 30 minutes, and a little bit longer we'll have together, about probably 40 minutes still. But as we go through this live, we're going to continue to check on XRP's progress, and we're going to continue to see if this structure holds the uptrending support or if it maintains the downtrending resistance. Because in two breaths, if it falls below or breaks above, we would have a break up or break down, and that would make things a little more spicy here during this live. Now, spot is king, but a lot of people like to do leverage as well. So I do try to be as transparent as possible, not just for the short-term pattern, but the short, mid, and long-range forecast. But right now, it's very, very, very important that we pay attention to the short-term formation because the rest doesn't even matter until we figure out what we're doing from here. Now, a few things we've left unsettled, which could also hint at the fact we might have to push back to the top side. One is the fact we came out of this falling channel or rising channel from February 27th of this year, and we've never back tested it. So now even if we came back up, now it would be much higher at 694. So that's at that part. But if we look at just the overall formation from June of 2022, our rising channel resistance from June of 2022, we actually came up to one time and we got rejected here. And we came down out of a pattern from January of 2024. It started. We had formed it within it. But now we came up, we got rejected at the resistance. Now would we come up here and double top to prove our bearishness? Because it looks like we came down to grab a lot of support here, not to come back up to at least get rejected to prove our bearishness. But at any time, if it does break down, obviously we know, because now it's 7 o'clock, but we know that barrier, that if it were to break down from, we know that that could insinuate a little bit of danger here. So if we break down this uptrend, then that would insinuate danger. I think it's pointing for danger just because it doesn't want a lot of people to be in for this little 4 to 5% move up. I'm being honest. If it breaks down, I would not be surprised, but I think it's building the opposite of a bear flag. And it's upside down, so I think it's tricking everybody. I think this is actually a bear flag disguised as a bull flag disguised as a bear movement. It does. It looks like it really needs to come back up here for a rejection. I would not be surprised if it catches everybody off guard because we did have the bearish move and it just comes up here real quick to 65.2. And then whatever happens, we'll decide. I would not be surprised. Something tells me that we're probably more likely to that scenario than not. Now, if we break this small formation, well, then obviously. But let's just make sure that it breaks down before we all of a sudden just anoint this that it's over. Because I've seen it far too many times when it does similar things like this. And you're like, oh, that wick is telling us where it's going. And then sure, it goes there. But then you fulfill the move back up because you have built up pressure from that wick. Like we relieve pressure, right? And then it comes up here just if you do make the right decision. Like then it all of a sudden is like, well, that was a left shoulder. And then it becomes a head. And then it was a topping pattern. Even though we've seen it forming, this tells us that we still have to pay attention to now it would be a underestimated move to the top side. And that's not even a big move. That's why I was saying it's nothing fabulous. Even if it comes right here, at least, we need to see something. We need to see. Because we did create this and it hit hold. So now it's going to have to hit here again. Something's going to have to happen. Something's got to give. So on the daily close here today, we're right at about 62 cents. 62.05. So we'll see what kind of volatility we have. And we'll see with Bitcoin as well, as Bitcoin's at 68,500 approximately. We're going to see what kind of volatility Bitcoin brings to the table. Because Bitcoin's another one that everybody that is expecting it just to break down right now. Again, just like XRP, I see just a very sneaky possibility here. And it doesn't have to play out. And it's not even that it's a bullish like a real bullish setup. It's just I see a sneaky little W that's trying to pull it back up here. Maybe it is only another 1,000 points to 69,800. Maybe it would swing it around here. But I see a sneaky swing starting here. And a lot of people are starting to go short already. So be careful that this plays out like this right away. Make sure they're not trying to trap us with what looks like a bear flag. And then it does this just to do this and creates a nice little Batman there. So I'm just trying to look at this from both angles here so that we don't get trapped, although we are in spot, so it doesn't matter. But for the ones who are trying to buy in as well, or the ones who are maybe already in a position and they're going to make an overzealous, move right now. Right now, we're trying to figure out if Bitcoin is in fact going to be able to use that handle as a bullish handle, which if it uses that handle, it doesn't seem like we're going to have much more space to run. Even if we got lucky and we had the best conditions possible, 89,000 would cap probably any upside. I only say that because a lot of people are talking 130, 150,000, but even in the best case scenario, if we don't create a bigger handle, yes, it's been a cup all the way since April of 2021. Yes, it took 3 years until March of 24. Yes, it's wide. I know, I get it. I've been watching it for 3 years. Now the question is that small handle big enough, or are we going to have to come to a bigger one like I put there? That would be more like the 55,000. I just made it like a flag on both of them. But that's the decision we have to make right now. That's the decision we have to make right now. Because we did already, for all intents and purposes, come down and make a small handle. And it's hard to see in the higher time frames, but it's very easy to see in the smaller time frame. And then we've broken above it now. So there's a very real chance that this is a bear trap here, and we still have one, either it's one more corrective wave up to exhaust this move from Bitcoin, or it's just a continuation that very well could happen. It's very plausible. It's going to be a big key right now, though. I think XRP, for us personally, with XRP, we already have it predetermined. We know what to look for. This is what we need to watch. If this doesn't hold strong, and this is my own expectation here, if this doesn't hold from here, well, yeah, then we can start to say, okay, well, now we can make a predetermined move here. But right now, until it gives this way, I think until it gives way and we actually see a clear breach from here, for some reason, my gut's telling me that this is a trap here, and they're trying to get people to go short right now. I can't explain it. But when you have these liquidity tugs like this, it doesn't sit right until you have the exhaustion part. These are exhaustion candles to me. So until you exhaust the move now, then you might be able to come back through, but we haven't exhausted anything yet. Right now, it just, I don't know, something doesn't seem right here. Man, it's good to be in spot, though, so I can let this play out. But still, something just doesn't seem right. So if you're in leverage and you're going short, be careful. Hell, even if you're going long, be careful. If you're looking to trade and you don't know how with XRP or with your favorite crypto, especially XRP in the USA or Canada, if you look at the pinned comments in this live, make sure you take advantage of BITUNIX. I did it in the pinned messages, or the pinned comment below. You can spot and leverage trade. You don't need a VPN, and they have the lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. And isn't it nice? No VPN. And if you're sending exchange funds via another exchange, you don't even need to do a KYC. I have not even done a KYC. So that's the nicest part about it. Canada has the paper since 24, USA since 23, the licensing, or 22, I mean. And if you're in the UK, I also pinned MEXC for the UK users, the ones in Australia, because it might not be available in your region. But for us, we can't use MEXC for new users in the USA. So take advantage of that if you are part of there. And they also have leverage trading and spot trading. And right now they have a great opportunity because they have zero leverage fees and zero spot trading fees for the foreseeable future. And those are both in the pinned comments below. So if you want to take advantage of that, I highly recommend taking advantage of that now so that you can set yourself up in a position just in case something does happen and you want to grab something, you need to sell something. Make sure you're on an exchange during high times of volatility. It doesn't go down. I've been on Uphold for 3 years. It goes down on every major rally or dump. Same thing with Coinbase, Kraken, Binance. It's the same story across the board. We don't see that with BITUNIX, and that's what caught our attention in July of 23 when we had that 94% rally. It didn't go down and all the rest were down, and we're like, what the hell? So now I've been promoting it just because, especially in the last month, because I feel like it's a disservice not to be on something that's actually running. So take advantage of that. Gianni says, bullish, bro. Yes, indeed. Good to hear that, Gianni. I'm going through the comments on my phone because YouTube isn't showing it on here. Eric looks more bearish on that scale, unfortunately. In the long-term proposition, yeah, I could see that. What do you think about the XRP AMM? The AMM? I mean, I've talked about that a lot. I don't really have a lot of time to get into that this evening. I'm going to save my voice for the technical analysis. But I think it's interesting if they can really find a way for the holders via the XRP ledger to actually create or get incentives as far as like not exactly the classic staking, but incentivize you in the same way. I think it can be a great thing, but we'll see how they actually put it to forth. I know we got through the 3-week waiting period after the votes of the nodes and yada, 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 the validator nodes, but now I want to see if they actually do what they say. I personally wouldn't leverage a short until 0.623 VWAP. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick, for that advice as well. I agree with that. True buy, it should retest the wick low. At some point, I would agree with that. I'm just looking at the fact that do we have to exhaust what looks like a small bull flag here first before we get there? That's the only thing I'm looking at, which one could argue, maybe we already did. Tom, we should expect the unexpected. Nothing is out of reach when it comes to market maker, making us think that it will not wick down to as low as sub 50 cents. Indeed, bro, we going to $1 next week, it looks like. There's a nice bullish perspective there. I like that. I like that. Joey just bought 421,000 Floki tokens while waiting on my XRP to climb. Anyone think that was worth it? I don't know. I don't know enough about Floki in the chart. I know it's had a run-up. Nunya, welcome in and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that on this Saturday evening. Light Switch Tom, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Appreciate that. Codizer, we have a golden cross on the hourly for XRP. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know what you're using for your I don't know what you're using for a golden cross, but I do know we have a bearish cross in the 1 hourly on XRP according to EMA lines. So we need to get above there in due time. Let's see. We definitely look short-term bearish. I mean, honestly, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, short-term bearish. That's why I said before we drop the bucket here and just say, oh, it's going to go down, let's make sure we lose this structure because there is a sneaky setup here that, like I said, even if it's bearish, I've seen this too often where, yes, we're all right, everybody's right, and then it just, for whatever reason, it exhausts this from the exhaustion candle, like I like to call it, and then it comes down here to retest it. How many times have you seen something like that just for it to come right down? And then it would retest it. So I'm making sure and telling the ones who are trying to go short, make sure this scenario doesn't happen and then you get caught. Because you've made a good decision then, but you just bought at the wrong time. And it just kind of dragged it out. Because what I'm seeing between that and Bitcoin is if Bitcoin rotates here last minute, which there is no guarantee Bitcoin's going to do that. But if it were to rotate, then it could, because it's dragging on, like I said, it's starting to drag on a little bit too long here. You would have expected this to pull it down now. Like you would have expected it to start pulling it down. The longer it starts dragging it on here, the more it starts just might do something like that, grab that liquidity and then pull it down. I still would not be surprised if something like that happens and then you see something like that on the chart. For some reason, I can't get that out of my head until it drops. I feel like they're setting up the short traders. I've been saying it for days. I feel like they're trying to cash in on the leverage traders who are short, long, up and down, left and right. They don't care. They're trying to stack the pocketbooks here. And I think they like to mess with the leverage traders. And right now, everything says go short. Everything would tell somebody you could go short and try to take a gamble here. I'm not even suggesting to open a long. I'm just saying, I think something's in the works here. And unless we break down that support that I put on there, that little structure here, I'm going to stick with my gut unless this breaks down. If this breaks down, so okay. But if it's still in this formation, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for a 3 to 4% move real quick off the cusp. Or as the new kids say, no cap. The younger kids. No cap, that's what I'm waiting for. I agree, Eric, that AMM is a game changer. It is. The bull cases are phenomenal. Tom, 3-month chart looks like a massive bull flag. Can you look, please? Am I wrong? No, from 3 months out, you are absolutely right. You're absolutely right if you go farther back in the pattern. It's just, I would have to go back on mine and switch the whole settings. But I mean, some people, the 3 month, I don't know. See, my biggest problem still with the XRP chart is until this formation is invalidated, I still can't help but see like a something like that. Until it's not there, I'm still waiting for that last tug here. But until it's not there, I'm still expecting, unless it breaks that, you know, we need to break something here. We need to get some volume. Oh, there's going to be a lot of bad banking news next week. That 1-year moratorium runs out next week, friends. How we bailed out the banks last year, that 1 year is coming to an end next week. And now they're going to bite the bullet. And guess what? All that stuff that I've been talking about, bank bail-ins, if they find it necessary that your bank needs 5% of each user's funds, this was put into law by Obama in 2008, slipped it into a bill. And the last bank bailout, the next one's going to be a bank bail-in, which means if the bank needs 5% from each of its customer to run and to accurately pay its holders what they need, that means if you have $1 million or $1,000, they're going to take 5%. If you have $100, they're going to take $5. Right? If you have $1,000, you can do the math. Take $50. Or whatever they deem necessary. And they're going to keep doing that to keep the banks running. So, if they're not getting bailed out, who's bailing them out? That's going to be us. So let's watch XRP here because, again, in the 30-minute it starts to try to break down, and now all of a sudden it's trying to tease us again with the fact that, maybe something different's going to happen. I just want to see it break down for it to break down. I've been teased with these kind of patterns too many times where all of a sudden Bitcoin now will be at 69,400 even if it's bearish, and it gives XRP the opportunity to run 3 to 5 quick percent. And even if the market taps out, how many times do we see that quick nibble up and then all of a sudden it drops the bottom out? So I'm expecting the unexpected here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's read this and let's see if it does fall outside of it or continues moving up as we read this, because this is important. And how many people have seen this? Out of curiosity. So expert says XRP will hit $3.84 all-time high this year, regardless of SEC lawsuit. And if you are watching, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will push this through the recommendations and allow more people to reach this beautiful community. I just want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in during this live. If you do appreciate what I do and the fact that I'm here on Saturday, consider one time per month to send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army to help pay it forward for the extraordinary amount of time I put in, which I wouldn't rather be anywhere else, but it does take out a lot of my time. So I do appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to grab my water out of the freezer, and then we're going to read this. And if you have relaxation, now's the time to start joining. Okay. So, I find this pretty interesting. This whole read is interesting. So, 619 is top of a bullish FVG. 626 is the bottom of a bearish FVG. So, it's kind of a 50. It sure is. It sure is. Honestly, you're right about that. We're also in the middle of a 4-hour bearish FVG. Interesting. So what we're saying is really anything can happen. Mr. Bojangles says, I'm all for a fall in the market. I actually like it more. Laugh a lot if we get a chance. See how TEL is looking. Tom Banks are all correct. Yes, they are. But we should be able to get a chance at TEL coin. We'll see how it goes this evening. But we should get a chance here. There's nothing major happening in the market right now. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. So Bill Morgan believes XRP would break its 6-year-old all-time high of $3.84 this year. These are key points. Morgan sees this possibility regardless of whether Ripple's lawsuit concludes. He disclosed that he is buying more XRP as Bitcoin reached a new all-time high. Prominent attorney Bill Morgan, renowned for his pro-XRP stance, has voiced his bullish sentiment that XRP would break its 6-year-old all-time high of $3.84 this bull cycle, regardless of whether the lawsuit around XRP concludes. And this is his verified X, formerly known as Twitter. No appeal, and this is Bill Morgan, no appeal will disturb the finding XRP itself. It's not a security. You are correct. The SEC said it will not appeal that finding. The market took it into account as the short-term price rises showed. I think the market did not care about the lawsuit, but the impact on XRP price was baked in by early 2021. When the lawsuit ends, though, regardless of the penalty, I think the market will react positively. The market needs to see 1, legal clarity on the status of the asset itself, 2, the lawsuit finally ended, 3, XRP being sold on U.S. exchanges, 4, Ripple still able to sell its XRP and use XRP in its cross-border payment and liquidity solutions in the U.S., and not the subject of a business nullifying permanent injunction. We only have 1 and 3 now. Thanks to Judge Torres, 2 and 4 will unlock the deferred massive impacts of 1 and 3. The lawsuit still matters, but XRP can reach all-time high this year without 2 and 4. Moon Lambo said on March 8th, SEC attorneys wrote to the court stating they have no intent to appeal the status of XRP as proclaimed by Judge Torres. Separately, I'll note that I don't think the market cares what happens with the rest of the Ripple/SEC case. So there's that to take into account. Let's continue reading. Morgan expressed his view amid Bitcoin setting a new all-time high above 70,000. He noted that Bitcoin hitting such a threshold implies it is prime time to load more XRP tokens in his bag. With Bitcoin at or touching all-time highs and XRP at 62 cents and near all-time highs against Bitcoin, the time is ripe, Morgan remarked. Responding to the sentiment, X-user Cherie expressed an opposite sentiment. In particular, Cherie stated she intends to reduce her XRP exposures because she fears the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit could further impact XRP. Should the SEC file an appeal soon after the judge rules on remedies, I don't want to stick around for that and miss another bull run, she said. Again, how would you miss a bull run? This is the thing, folks. See, this is not an influencer you should be listening to. Since when are you only supposed to hold one asset? That's foolish. How by holding XRP does it hinder another bull run? I don't get it. So if you want to be in other things besides XRP and you fear mixing it, why would you get rid of your XRP? Unless that's all the money you have. I just don't understand it. And this YouTuber obviously has more because they're a bigger YouTuber. I'll just never understand the philosophy. Holy smokes. Wow, Tom. This is to help you with your haircut when the time comes. Thanks for all the time you put in. Peace be with you. Thank you so much, and amen to you, my friend. Tom with the $50 donation. Holy crap. It's the first donation of the day. It's a big one, too. Thank you so much, my friend. Oh, my goodness. My God. Manny says, who cares about all-time high price? XRP needs to hit $100 at least. Okay, Manny, why? That's just idiotic. No offense. But that whoever put that in your head that XRP owes you $100 has got you just completely just upside down thinking, friend. That's no way to think. That's the problem with the XRP community as a whole. $100? So you're telling me if you bought at 34.6 cents and you turned $3,400 or $3,500 into 35 grand, somehow it's not good enough because XRP owes you 100 or a million? Come on, friend. That's not even reasonable. So you're telling me unless 3,500 turns into a million, it's not worth it. That just tells me you make no money investing. Like, come on, don't sell yourself short. Don't let everybody know that you're not a real investor who makes profit. Because only somebody who doesn't make any money and continues to incur losses would think like that. We got to not be negative like that. That's just, don't think that way. See, that's what they want you to think. They want you to watch all these spicy channels so that you'll think XRP can go 1,000x. And then when it doesn't and it's only up 200%, you think it owes you something. Like, no. It doesn't owe you anything. The only thing you owe yourself is to buy it at the proper spot so you can turn 3,500 into 35 grand its next time up. Period. And then once it doubles that, well, you make another 35. And then so on from there, and you can start building from there. But to think it owes you anything or it owes us anything, that's just a very flawed way of thinking. You're never going to get anywhere thinking like that. You're always going to be a victim. Being a victim in the market is how 90% of traders lose their money. Because 90% of everybody who puts their money in, accumulating, long holding, investing, whatever you want to call it, loses the money. for one reason or the other. So I'm trying to be here so we don't lose our money and so that we can actually stay ahead and on top of what the truth of the market is. I don't want you thinking like that, my friend. Give yourself more credit than that. You're smarter than that. I didn't say everybody bought at 34 cents. I said you owed it to yourself to buy it at the right spot. Okay, so if you bought XRP at 60 cents, sir, and you got it for $6,000 and you got to sell it for $35,000, but because it didn't go to 100,000, okay, it's the same basic juncture here. Of course, I'm going to say for my buy-in that I bought, which everybody who's been buying, who's been watching the show has a similar buy-in. But I don't want everybody to sell themselves short. And I want everybody to realize, like, it's not that black and white. Like, if you have that mindset to think about that and everything, you take $1,000 to the bank and you tell them, well, if I don't get $1,500 back, it's not even worth the $100 I made in the, the interest that is on top of it. Sure, it matters. At least you made $100. Might not be the cost of interest or the times of inflation, but that just means you could have put it into a 3-month rollover or rolling government bond for 3 months and you could have made more. But that's just because we don't have our all the info there. So, but it's our job. We have a job here each and every day to be here, and we can help each other. See, that's the beauty of this whole thing. We can help each other. And a lot of people don't like when I tell them the truth like this, but that's the truth. Look at it for what it is. Don't expect it. What I expect is XRP to hit all-time highs. Because you've had, for 7 years, you've got all this money sitting on the top, and they can make a lot of money on that rally up, and they know it. Even if it comes from one massive resistance, that's what I expect. Anything above that, I'm not expecting. But I anticipate. But to say I expect or I'm owed it, I can't do that. So, continuing on. Because I know people will leave because they don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. Tommy brings sassy with that, sir. Laugh out dude got me. Well, I'm trying to be nice. I don't want to have confrontation. I just want everybody to know the truth. Bill Morgan weighed in suggesting that crypto market still cares about the lawsuit's development. He believes XRP price could see a positive impact when the lawsuit ultimately concludes. He outlined 4 factors the crypto market expects to see from the protracted XRP lawsuit, 2 of which have materialized: XRP not security and XRP being sold on U.S.-based exchanges. The 2 yet to be materialized outcomes include the case itself ending and Ripple being able to market XRP to U.S. financial institutions. On this premise, Morgan emphasized that while the lawsuit still matters, it will not stop XRP from reaching an all-time high this year. So we'll see. We'll see if Bill Morgan's right, if XRP in fact does hit an all-time high this year. XRP still maintains anywhere between 62 and 62.2. Oh, there it is. That's what's going on. It moved it down there. I must hit the button when we first started. But the chart I'm looking at right now with XRP at 62.31 now is this chart. Because I'm still suspicious that at least even if we're bearish, we'll come up here. And we'll get a rejection somewhere around 629. As somebody said, the bearish FVG in the 4-hourly would be at, what was it? You said 6, I believe you said 646. So it would make all the sense in the world if we're still bearish to come up here and tap it. Even if it hits 628, has a little bit of a run over, but we could still tap it. I think that's good information. I think we put out a lot of good information here on this Saturday. Not ready to go yet, but I'm just saying, I think we put out some information. I still would like to see this pattern unfold. I want to see if we do come up to 628 while we're on here, and we do get a bearish rejection or we push through. Because one way or the other, I think that's what's happening. XRP was 66 cents when Bitcoin was 20,000. What gives? I bought a bunch at that range because I figured I was getting a deal. Then I got dumped on. Well, I mean, that's the short-term perspective. No one says you're not getting a deal. Look at it this way. In 2021, if you'd have bought it, it would have cost you, at this rate, over 3 times as much. So you're getting it for 33 cents on the dollar. No. See, what you need to understand before you go ahead, if you understand, I think you are getting a good deal. I don't think 66 cents is a terrible buy. I don't. I've seen people buying at $3, $1.50, $1.20, $2, 75 cents. You know, I don't think it's a terrible buy. But you've got to understand that the pattern rotation here, it's not simple. Like you bought in just thinking it's a good buy and we're just going to go up for oblivion now. The problem with that is unfortunately you bought into a 77-month consolidation and no one knows when it's going to end, my friend. But big math. Just so you understand what's going on here, so you don't have to feel like you're trapped, or so you don't have to feel like you're being manipulated. Right now, XRP, January of 2018, we hit all-time highs. 27 months later, we found ourselves at a swing low. It took 27 months to come all the way down and find our uptrending support in March of 2020 at just over 10 cents. We had a volatile swing up and the lawsuit was announced. We held that support in December of 2020. From the time we hit 58 cents in April of 2021, in 9 days from 59 cents, we hit our high for that entire rally. It took 9 days from 58 or 59 cents to $1.98. Proceeded to jump back down here and hit the uptrending support, not just in 22, but several times in 23. We are yet to hit this downtrending resistance still for a third time. So even if we're bearish, we've assumed and we've at least anticipated that we could still hit 75 cents even in a bearish scenario. Now you're stuck in a 77-month consolidation that technically doesn't even have to end, according to the chart, until December or January. December of this year or January of 25 at the latest. So yes, you bought in, but for me to be honest with you, the best buy-in, and this is where we bought in on the uptrending support, not because I'm a genius, not because I know more than all of you, just because I recognize the entirety of the formation. The proper buy right now would be, if you think you're getting a good buy, like if you think there's no reason it should go underneath right now, it would be around 38 cents. So like I always tell everybody, when you buy in, make sure you've got enough to where you can buy 20% more. Every 20% it goes down. And then hopefully by the time it goes to your 100% down, you don't even need to use all 5 times. But by the time it gets there, maybe it only is 40% down from where you bought. In your scenario, you would have to buy twice if this played out. But you would expand your bag while decreasing your average. And then when it does eventually rotate out, you would end up doing what you need to do. John, in the same regard, then I'm not going to respond to your question because then you don't know anything. You just disregarded everything I've done for, 3 years and all the predictions I've made. The fact I've been able to front run the market for 3 years. So obviously it has some importance. But if you're just going to make a blanket statement like that, well, then I guess there's no reason to read your next comment. I'm going to let my cat in. But and as regard for oh no, yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows, but so you're right, nobody knows, but you can give yourself blueprint. You can give yourself a blueprint. You can keep an eye on the volume portfolios to see when institutions do start buying. You're gonna know. You're gonna see a change in the technical the volume portfolio at the very least. Don't sell yourself short, friend. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't sell yourself short. You can see a lot more than you think. You can predict a lot more. It's not as hard as a lot of people think. The trading bots run a lot of this. And once you understand just the way it can go, and why I always say how the technical traders, there's a reason I always use that term, the technical traders. I'm not even going to say who they are, but it's not just retail. The technical traders are also the ones that are in control of these trading bots. But got to keep a positive portfolio, guys, a positive mindset. You guys are all going to see as we shift how the negativity starts to seep in through more and more people. And how the expectations that breed a lot of these negative mindsets, they're false expectations that are not guaranteed. I think a lot of people forget that we have a total circulating supply of 99.4 billion. That means something. Right now, I'm just happy that XRP is proving it can be a stable coin. This could be one of the down low, under the radar, biggest use cases that we've ever seen out of XRP. The fact that with all the volatility, the fact that Bitcoin can go up and down, left and right, that XRP can maintain a stable price. That doesn't mean next year it'll be stable at this price, but it means if they need to use it for a stable purpose, that it can hold its value in a stable way, and it can continue to create transactions, keep the traffic up, keep the interest up, and save you a bunch of money while doing the transactions. See, to me, there's something to that. So, all right, everybody, I do thank everybody for tuning in. I hope this helped in some small way. I really do hope this helped in some small way. If you did appreciate this live, make sure you subscribe to the channel and join the over, I can't even believe I'm saying it now, 20,700 plus subscribers. If you appreciate my work, consider sending a YouTube super chat one time per month or joining Tom's Army. If you're looking to trade XRP, whether spot or leverage trading, and you can't figure out a way to do it in the USA or Canada, and you don't want to use a VPN to do it, pin the comments below and or video description below. BITUNIX, there's the lowest spot fees on leverage and spot trading in the USA, and you don't need a VPN. And if you don't transfer from a bank account and you do it from another exchange, you don't even need to do a KYC. And then if you're outside the USA and Canada, and you're in the UK or Australia, I pinned in the comments below and in the video description MEXC, because there's extraordinary deals for members outside the US and Canada. But for us, unfortunately, we can't take advantage of it. So just look there. So other than that, thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Before I walk out, I want to look at Telcoin real quick, as it's down 1.22% right now. We're still anticipating, if it were to come down and hit this uptrend, that we could hit the uptrending support, but we don't know if it's even going to do that. We're just projecting here that if it does break down at some point, the next time we could meet this somewhere would be on the uptrend to kind of see what's going on here. But we've actually created now, because we've had a little bit of a continuation here since the last time we talked about this, one could argue that we have to break this uptrend now. So we're going to go from layers. So if you're watching this, once we lose this uptrend, because it's going to happen eventually at 4.2, 4.3, then you can come down in here. Eventually it's going to happen. Nothing goes straight up. But if it's not done yet, you could create another head formation. So that's the reality of it right now. We've just got to see how much farther and how much more volatile we continue moving up. Right now it's a very volatile swing to the top side here for Telcoin. And at some point, though, we're going to have this correction. But not yet. Not yet. It's still trying to continue to move up. So thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate all of you. Seriously. Have a